Welcome back. It's been 6 months since U.S. and Israeli forces launched strikes on Iran. And President Trump initially said this war would last 6 weeks, but it's almost been 6 months. He says it will take as long as necessary. Although the U.S. has recently shifted its strategy to focus on pressuring Tehran economically, there appears to be no end in sight.
For more on this, we're joined by CBS News Middle East contributor Courtney Kealy. Courtney, it seems that we're in an unprecedented moment and that the balance of power and geopolitics has changed in the Middle East. How has this war changed that?
Seismically is the word. So let me just start with, I talked to some sources this week, and I really wanted to know what was going on in Tehran. Beginning of the year, started the protests, the massacres, and then the internet blackout. And then as you go to war, you talk about the kinetics, the bombings, and what's happening. In Tehran, in some of the northern, less conservative areas, women are still walking around without hijab, and the regime is worried about pushing them too far. So these random ways the besieged cracks down and keeps everyone scared. One person out of 75 will be arrested for singing on YouTube and not wearing a hijab. So inside Iran proper, people are dealing with an emboldened regime, a new leader of the besieged, a new leader of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. And then you just amplify that out with the ripple effect. Houthis in Yemen, Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, for starters. And Hamas is not as much of a proxy, but Hezbollah and the Houthis, especially Hezbollah, are. So we're seeing devastating war in southern Lebanon. 2 years after it looked like Israel had decimated Hezbollah, not so much. Yemen back into a major civil war, the other side backed by Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is on that side with Yemen and on this side with Iran. Saudi Arabia and Iran have always been completely opposed religiously and in terms of leadership. Now you have an emboldened Iran, a structure, whether the Ayatollah Mojtaba Khamenei is alive or dead or disfigured or not, we really don't know. But one source was saying about 5 people have been close to him. So there is some signs that he might be alive. Everything's in his name. So inside Tehran, inside of Iran, in the south, along the Strait of Hormuz, people are suffering there. The south is more conservative. There have been more bombings recently over the summer. That's where tourism is being hard hit because people go to the beach. That's all off. That's become another regional hub of violence. So just completely, and excuse me for just going on and on.
Yeah.
It just
Well, let me ask you
going.
this, Courtney. Then how for the U.S. has its relationship with its own allies in the Gulf region changed? Because 6 months in, the relationship doesn't seem to be as warm with Kuwait, with Bahrain, with the UAE, for example.
Who have taken literal heat from Iran
Now, they've taken
on
the
our
incoming.
behalf.
Yeah, Kuwait, Bahrain, missiles, Dubai shut down. It's major tourism, major industry. One thing that really stuck out this summer was that Mecca agreement between the Pakistanis, the Turks, and what happened is the Pakistanis and the Turks and the Saudis, that was the 3 of them, came to their own kind of agreement with their own version of Article 5, that we stand together if anyone attacks us. That's sort of like a subset of a group.
Interesting.
Oh, there's so much to think about. I mean, this was a war that was supposed to last 6 weeks, and here we are 6 months later. It is incredible that the Iranians have been able to hold on for so long.
The U.S.
considering
did not expect that.
Not just the military attacks, but the economic impact on Iran that was already an economic freefall. Courtney Kealy, thank you so much.
Thank you, Courtney.